reason why we stay is because we can't imagine life without them because we've been around them so long.
We want you to say that. You see what we're saying? And that's the kind of information we want you to talk to the people in Ruffus through that and other folks who might be involved in similar kinds of situations, you see. So I don't know, Pastor Walker, I've been sort of an intimidated kind of fellow. Anytime my wife say boo, I and I've been jumping for 30 years, and so I don't know too much about it. But I've been violent and et cetera. We all are. It's just the fact of growing up. But certainly you reach a point one day that, that you gotta, and they reach a point where, you better not say that to me anymore.
Right.
And et cetera. And
absolutely.
So, it's a, and so you'll have 10 minutes, Ms. Johnson, to talk about this because I can't say too much more about it. When a character like that would do, put a pistol in you, I mean, and Russian roulette and, that's...
Yeah, he was crazy.
That's not domestic violence. That's sadistic.
Yeah.
I mean, he ought not to be around human beings, period. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Hey, but you couldn't get away from him?
During the 3 days, no. I left as soon as I had the chance, and that's when I did what I could. No, he was on it. We laid in the bed together, and he was like, if you move, even if I had to use the bathroom, he went with me. He's like, if you make one wrong move, I'm going to kill you. And so I had to lay in the bed in the dark, and there was random elbow punches to the ribs. Every time he, I guess, woke up to turn over or something.
Where did he come from? I mean, really, how did you?
He was, of course, he wasn't like that when I first met him.
Well, I mean, what made him like that then? I mean,
well, everybody, they have a honeymoon stage. They portray to be something that they're not until they got you. And then when they got you, they'll reveal them true selves. But when I first met him, he appeared to be the man of my dreams. For a whole 2 months, he wouldn't talk to me.
We're missing all of this. Because that's important. Because if I can raise the question, I know I don't understand it all, and certainly there are other folks who don't understand it all, and folks who are probably getting caught up into the same kind of situation and need somebody to say something.
I guess the question would be what you think, was it something that maybe triggered that behavior to come out of him? Maybe, thinking, you're going to leave him, or you're showing less interest in him or something?
Well, he said my mouth was too smart because I can't have an attitude.
Yeah. What did he do? I mean, what was his, did he work or go anywhere or have friends? Did you see him outside of where you were at any one time? And
throughout the 6 years, yeah.
Well,
this guy has some serious
he would.
issues.
Yeah, we went to family functions together, and to my family, he never really came around my family much, but when he did, he appeared shy and quiet, like he was when I first met him. Like, he had flowers delivered to my job and food delivered to my job, like, every day for 2 months before I even knew who he was.
Hold it.
Yeah. Dr. ain't gonna do all the show.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it all in the time.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah, so we'll have 10 minutes. We're talking to Pastor KWalker and Ms. Sparkle Johnson in reference to overcoming domestic violence. And of course, Ms. Johnson has given us some excellent information in reference to some of the challenges that she had in her own personal relationships. And so, Ms. Johnson, let's see if we can pick up where we left off and give you an opportunity to say to our audience this morning some of the things that they ought not to do if they do not wish to become involved in the same kind of situation that you became involved in.
Well, as I stated earlier, you have to know who you're dealing with. When I first met him, he appeared to be the man of my dreams. He had flowers and food delivered to my job every day for like 2 months. before I even knew who he was. Then when he revealed himself, I was like, you know, God, he did all these things and didn't want anything from me. But it was all a setup. And so, and when he appeared, we went out together. We didn't just stay in the house. And he was doing this all the time. Like, you know, like I said, my daughter's now 6. He fought all the time. But when we was out around family and friends, with my family, he appeared to be quiet and shy, just like he was when I first met him. And with his family, he was just kind of himself. They knew what he done and they accepted it because he had done it to other women before. And so after the domestic violence, a lot of people say, why you didn't get out immediately or the first time? Well, I was still chasing the person that I met, the man of my dreams. I thought like I said, he was a victim of circumstance. So somebody done something to him and he just need to see somebody's gonna stand by his side. All the while, my life was slowly leaving this earth. And my job as a mother, my purpose here on life was dissipating, you know? So in the middle of chasing the old man that I met, I had to realize that was a mask. That was never him. This monster that I'm dealing with now is the real him, and I have to get out for the sake of me and my children. Because during the attack, he had mentioned, I'll get your Social Security and raise the kids myself. I knew then he wasn't playing because he was in details. So, like I said, now, once you find yourself in that situation, sometimes we get tricked, we get fooled. You have to get up out of there. You don't have time to plan. You have to just do it. And I know that's a Nike slogan, but that's real life. Like, this is an emergency. There are several outlets out there. I have a nonprofit, Superwomen Inc. We support. You call my phone directly, and if I have to get up and come to you, I will. Of course, we have police escorts. I work closely with the police department and the DA's office, and Mr. Glenn Funk. We come to hospitals. We go to courts. There's also 2 other domestic violence nonprofits that reach out as well, because one person can't be everywhere at one time. We have Centoria Franklin with Pastor Beauty and Candy Hawkins with Victims to Victory. And we all work together. We're not in competition because we're all here for one cause, and that's to help people survive, men and women, because men are victims as well. A lot of times, some women get comfortable with the system and they know they lean on our side. So with that being said, they end up going out here and taking advantage of these men. They know these men don't want to go to jail and they just beating the crap out of them. And with free will, and they're controlling too. So this goes both ways. So we're here to be that support that a lot of times people are not really quick to go to a domestic violence shelter. Or people don't want to talk to someone with a badge. They want to talk to somebody who look like them, who can say, I've been exactly where you are and I'm here to help you. Because there is life without them. We get blinded by the love, and once we with them for so long, we can't imagine life without them. Especially when we have kids like, oh, we have these children. We didn't have these children at first. What is life like without them? There is no life without them. But baby, it is.
What kind of work did this individual do? And I say that because, I mean, it was not just one long series of just rape. I mean, there was some other kind of interaction. Was there no other kind of interaction that you had with him after all of those years around? I mean, you didn't...
He was a drug dealer, but he also worked at a warehouse. He did warehouse jobs. Yeah, for legal reasons. I'm not gonna name the name of the warehouse, but he worked at a warehouse, but he was mostly a drug dealer. So yeah, I had interactions with him all the time. But he didn't appear, and I defended him. That's important to say. A victim will defend, because we don't want anybody to know that we're so stupid or we're so weak and we're dealing with this. And and if we love them, we're gonna defend them. That's love all the way around, if we're being abused or not. We're gonna defend our man, even if it costs us our life sometime. But it's time out for that. That has to stop, because too many children are burying their mothers.
Yeah, and so Pastor...
You know, Dr. Haney, I guess what I'm hearing is when that individual reveals themselves, their real self, you got to believe it. You got to believe it and know that individual, that picture that they showed initially, the mirage, the fake picture. That's what exactly what it is. It's a fake picture. It's a fake image, you know. And when that true, real image come out, you have to believe it, male or female. You have to believe what you're looking at, because if you don't believe what you're looking at, then you're going to try to stay attached, and I guess, you know, try to use love to say, well, I'm going to find within this person that I met. You know, it's almost like the drug thing when you get addicted to drugs. You know what I'm saying? That first high you get, man, that's the one you chase for the duration of your drug addiction. You try, every time you get high, you're trying to get that first initial feeling that you got, and you never get it. It never shows up again. You get close to it, but it never shows up. So once a person reveals themselves who they are, you got to believe it. And then you have to begin to make the steps necessary to get out of it, because if not, you could end up a victim in terms of being murdered. And by the grace of God, you know, we're sitting here speaking and talking with Sparkle Johnson, hearing her share her story, because and she endured some horrible stuff over a 3-day period of time that could have easily, just one of those times he stomped her head, man, could have easily taken her life. You know, and right now, you know, I'm raising my two of my grandkids because of my daughter was murdered in a domestic violence situation. And I also got a goddaughter that survived the domestic violence situation by actually shooting and killing her abuser. So, you know, you have to really know, like you said initially, you got to know who you're dealing with. You know, and when you find out, when you get that information, you can't stay attached to it, because you know if you do, the rest of your life is going to be devastated. You're going to be wiped out.
Well, Ms. Johnson, what was the final thing that was a break, looking back over your career in reference to this, what was the final thing that made you leave?
Realizing that he wasn't.
That this was it, that you could not see him tomorrow or ever again. What was that? What happened that day?
It was those 3 days when I realized, you know what, he's not just trying to hurt me, he's trying to take me out. He has what appeared to be a spill-proof plan. I was like, he's not playing with me, so God, if you help me get out of this, I'm not gonna play with him. I'm gonna testify, and I'm gonna go to court, because I had him arrested before. I had him arrested, I think, 6 times before, but I would never go to court, because I'm like, oh, now